Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Beauty, also known as The Rich Aunt. I hope you all are well. I hope you are good. Today it is the 19th of January 2024 and this is the third video that I'm shooting for the year. And today we are doing the financial something with The Rich Aunt. So if you have been with me, in this channel we talk about finances, career, and just life in general. So today we're doing the financial something with The Rich Aunt, and I am integrating it with the Daniel fast. So if you watched my previous video, we have started the Daniel fasting and prayer last week, so this is the second week. So in the first week, what we do, we pray, we reflect, and we fast, right? In the second week, we fast, we pray, and we plan. So now we are in the second week, and today I have been busy with my financial goals and my financial planning for 2024. And I thought that, you know what, let me share this with my community to tell them how do I go about planning for my finances and setting my financial goals. So last year when I was reflecting on my vision board and the goals that I've set for myself, particularly for the financial area or the financial aspect, was that I don't want to add more debt into my name. Instead, I want to work towards reducing the debt that I have, right? So I have reached that goal. So the goal was a bit vague because I just said that I don't want to add more debt and I want to work towards closing some of the accounts that I've had. And when I reflected, I realized that I had a 40-month term loan that I had in my name, and in the month of December I settled that loan. So in a way, I have reached my financial goals that I have set for myself, right? So now in the year 2024, what I am doing is I want to start saving money. So like I said the previous week, is that when you set your vision, you need to make sure that the vision is clear. So when it comes to my financial goals and my financial vision, is that in the year 2024, I want to save an amount of money, right? And I said that when you plan, the vision must be clear and must also have a why behind it. So in the year 2024, I want to save an amount of about 64,000 rand, and the reason for that is that will go towards my balloon payment, because my car, I will be paying it off early next year. So you know that if you didn't have a deposit, in most cases you will have the balloon payment. It's also known as the residual payment, right? So then I need to have that amount of money for my balloon payment when the last installment goes off. So this year I will be saving towards that amount, and it needs about 64,000 rand. So obviously, like I mentioned in the previous videos, that when you plan, you need to make sure that you have systems that will help you reach the goal that you have set for yourself, right? So today, as I was planning, already I have a stokvel that I have joined. We call it the 3K stokvel. So we are 6 in the stokvel, and every month there's someone, we select an individual that we're going to give the 3,000 each from all of us to that person. So obviously the stokvel will run from January to December, so it means that we're going to have 2 rounds, right? So because we are 6, it means that it's going to run from January to June, and then we start again from July to December. So meaning that in the 2 rounds of the stokvel, each person receives 15,000 rand. So it means that I will receive 15,000 rand twice. So it means that just from the stokvel alone, I will be able to save 30,000 rand, right? And I have continued with the same stokvel that I used the money for servicing my car last year. If you haven't seen that video, please go watch it. So last year we were saving 30 rand a day, which is about 150 in a week, right? So this year we have taken it a bit up. So now we are saving about 250 in a week. So it is 50 rand a day, and in a month it amounts to 1,000 rand. So the goal is that we want to share 11,000 rand at the end of the month of November, right? Because in most cases we save that money for the Black Friday and yeah, all the other things that we would want to do in the beginning, or yeah, in the beginning of the festive season. So I have the 3K stokvel, I have the 50 rand a day savings, and we have another one in my branch because the one that I've been doing, I was doing it with my previous branch. So we have also started it at my branch, my current branch. So with the current branch, we're still doing the 30 rand a day. So I have joined that as well. So I think that one, it normally gives me about, I think last year I got 7 to 8,000 rand, right? So it means that I will have the 30,000 rand from the 3K stokvel. I will have the 11,000 from the 50 rand a day stokvel, and I will also have the 7 or 8K from the other stokvel that I do. So I'm still looking at another way of how am I gonna save and be able to reach the 60,000 goal that I've set for myself. So the nice thing is that I don't need the 60,000 right at the beginning of the year. So I think the residual itself is due August 2025. So basically I still have time. So today when I was busy with my planning, it means that from now until August 2025, I need to save about 3,400 a month. So it means that if I continue saving the way that I'm saving, actually that is covered. So the 3K stokvel and the 30 rand a day stokvel will be able to cover me for the residual. So you see, I have a system that I'm using, and I believe that it's going to work for me, because I know if I save money in my own account, then there's emergencies that come, then I can access the money. It becomes a bit of a challenge. But this year, I also want to challenge myself to be able to put money in my own account, right? So obviously, even the 15,000 rand that I'm going to receive from the 3K stokvel, because it's going to be 2 rounds, I'm going to receive it. I think I'm number 4 in the list, so somewhere in April or May I'm going to receive it. So it means that that 15,000 will be in my in my access. So I just need to find an account where I can fix that money. So I'm still going to check which bank am I going to use. Am I going to use Capitec, Time Bank? I would see whichever one that makes sense to me and also will give a better interest rate, right? So that's how I intend to save for my balloon payment. And also I want to save for my December holiday, no, my birthday next year. So I want to travel outside of South Africa, so I'm gonna need to save for that. So that I'm gonna do it with the team awards that I will get from work and also my annual bonus. So I want to travel, so I have seen how much I need to spend for that trip alone, so we save for that. We start this year to save for it. So it means that I need to work so hard at work, because at my company we have a structure whereby if the branch reaches target quarterly, they compensate us. So we have we call it a team award. So there's percentages to it. It starts from 5% to a maximum of 30%. So basically how it's calculated, the branch in a quarter is given a target, right? So if we reach the quarterly target, you get to get, say for example, we qualify for 20%. So it's 20% multiplied by 3 months. So it means that you get paid 60% of your salary, right? So last year we were able to get 3 team awards consistently. So we got 15%, and we also got a 5%, which was the lowest. So this year my goal for my branch is to make sure that we reach about 20% every quarter. So the first payout for 2024 will be in March. So I am aiming, I'm working so hard. I'm working so hard to make sure that my team and I reach the target of 20%. So if we get 20% in March, we get 20% in June, we get 20% or 30% even in September, then we just take it up to 30% in the end of December. Then the girl will have money. So you understand. So already that, because it is not a fixed thing, I cannot really budget for it. But then I know that with the way that my team and I are going, or the rate that we are going at, we will be able to reach all those goals that we have set for ourselves. So I believe that the extra income is definitely coming. So all the other things, because I have a few things as well on my financial goals, I want to start building um my emergency fund, because now that I've paid off my loan, I don't want to find myself going back to taking personal loans, because I took that personal loan because I had an emergency 40 months ago, right? So now when I have an emergency, I want to have an amount that I can access without actually going to the bank to ask for a loan, right? So I also want to start building my emergency fund. So my goal is to build about 10,000 rand by the end of 2024 in my emergency fund. So this year, you're not gonna see me going out a lot. I'm gonna be going out on a budget. We're gonna plan, like, and we're gonna stick to the plan. So it means that I'm gonna go to a minimum of 2 dates in a quarter, and I'll go to maybe 2 vacations this year. So already there's one that I've planned for my birthday month. I'm going away with my friends, so that one is already taken care of. We've paid for it with the team award that I received in December. So then the other trip will be towards the end of the year, my annual trip that I take with my family. So yeah, so that yeah, I'm just gonna make a plan to make sure that I save for it. So on the streets, I will be very much limited, because the money is going towards the saving. So where does my, okay, last year I couldn't afford the 3K stokvel, right? So immediately after paying up my loan, I realized that I can actually afford that stokvel now, because I was paying about 2,800 rand for that loan. So because I don't have any plan, and I know that money, if it stays in my account, hey, I will be living the rich aunt life for real. So it means that I would have 2,800 access to go out to shop and but I decided that I'm gonna put it to good use, because I don't want to hurry when the time comes for me to pay my balloon payment, then I get myself printing my payslip and applying for a personal loan to pay for that. That is not smart. So hence I am making sure that I'm saving for that, right? So I just want to quickly share a tip. When it comes to doing your financial planning, obviously your financial session, like when you have a session with yourself, number one, what I did, I printed my 6 months bank statement. I printed my latest salary slip to see how realistic I can make the goals that I'm setting for myself, right? Check what is my spending behavior. I also reflected on the budget that I was using last year, because you know me, I do my budget month in, month out. So then I go back, I reflect, I check my budget, and I see what are we taking out this month. So the other tip that I want to give you is that once you have taken your 6 months bank statement, obviously maybe you have cell phone accounts. When you are doing your financial planning, that is the time to actually call the cell phone provider and find out when is the contract coming to an end. I realized that the 2 contracts that I have are coming to an end somewhere this year. One is ending in September, one is ending in April. So I had to call them and find out, because I tried to check the contracts, I couldn't find them. So I had to make a call and find out when those contracts are coming to end. Because what I've realized is that with cell phone account, once you are like you have reached the contract comes to an end, if you don't send them an email to cancel, the contract goes on, because they will provide you with the data and all the other things that they've been providing for you, and obviously the amount will go a bit down. But I've realized that I don't need their data, I don't need their airtime anymore, because I have a router at home, we have Wi-Fi at work. So basically, after I'm done paying the phones that I was paying, then I don't need the contract anymore. So when you are busy doing your financial planning, you need to look at such. I checked when is my contract with the tracker that I have in my car. When is it coming to an end? It actually ended last year. So it means that I think it ended last year in June and I was not notified. So I kept paying, or rather they kept debiting my account, right, for 6 months. And then when I called them, I actually found out that the contract actually ended. So they were debiting money where else I was not owing them. So now this year for 6 months I'm covered without having to make payments. So they have come to install a new tracker, and I'm not going to pay for it because they've been debiting my money. So whatever it is that you have taken on contract, if you don't have the contract to see when is the contract end date, call and find out when is the contract end date. And if you don't need their services anymore, then that is where you actually have extra money coming from your expenses. So if you cancel Vodacom, then it means that you have 500 back. If you cancel, if you had a Cell C as well, then you know that maybe whatever amount that you were paying, you have it back. So it is very important that you go and check your contracts, because if maybe they don't debit your account and you are aware of your contract end date, and you do not cancel the contract and you don't make payment, those people will blacklist you. My sister had a contract with MTN, right, and she was paying like via EFT, so it was not a debit order. So then we knew when is the contract end date. We knew that it was ending in September. I think it was September 2022, right? Then she stopped paying, but she did not cancel, and we didn't even know where the SIM card is. So they have been loading the benefits and they have been charging her for those benefits, and because she was not making payment, she just realized that she actually got listed for their account. So it's very important that when you take a contract, you know the contract end date, and you always need to note what is it that they needed for cancellation, because in most cases the contract phones, they need you to type a letter to say that you are canceling the contract. I don't know why they cannot do it via phone call. The same thing happens with the tracker companies. If you don't cancel, because normally even with the trackers, they normally have a 36 months contract. If you do not cancel that contract, they believe that they assume that you still want their services, where else maybe you find yourself that you replaced it with another company, but they actually still charge you. They bill you for having that tracker in your car. Then the fact that they don't debit, but because you didn't cancel, then it means that you're still liable. So please make sure that whatever it is that you take on contract, if you know when is the contract end date, a month prior to the contract end date, it is your responsibility to type them an email to say that you don't need their services anymore, you are terminating the contract. That will save you and Bona, it will save you a lot of money, because now there's people that will hand over your account. The next thing you know, you are called by debt collectors to say that your account is handed over, and then that already, then it's messing up with your credit score. So make sure that if you have any contract, when you are doing a financial planners, call your providers and find out when is the contract end date, because for all you know, some of your contracts, the end date was somewhere last year, and now you are paying for something that you actually do not need. So make sure that you go and review all the contracts that you have and cancel if you need to cancel, right? Another last tip is that, guys, save money. Save money. If you have been paying for something and you have paid it up, know where you are taking that amount that you are paying at Capitec, say for example. You need to have a plan for that money. What are you going to use it for? Are you maybe going to increase the installment of another debt so that it can also get paid up earlier than it was going to end? So don't just leave that money lying around in your account, because it will look like you have money, of course, and you will spend that money. So make sure that you know when your loan is coming to an end, and also have a plan for the install. If you are paying an installment for 40 months, you are not used to the 2,800 rand, so you might as well put it to good use. It's either you save it or you take it and increase the installment of one of the debts or a few that you still have left and make sure that it will be paid off sooner rather than later. Because if maybe you had a debt that's still left with 11 months, if you increase the installment, you can actually get it paid within 6 months, because it will take, they call it the snowball method. So once you are done paying one account, the installment that you are paying there, you must take it, add it to your next debt that you are targeting to actually finish. So guys, my goal is to be financially free by before I reach the age of 40. So now I only have my car left and one credit card, of which I'm working very hard to make sure that I get it paid very soon. It will be out, and then the car next year, it will be done and dusted. So it means that the cash, the money that I get paid, the whole net salary besides the funeral covers and it will be mine. And I believe that I will also have a plan in place on how are we using it to benefit the financial freedom life that I am aiming to live. So yeah guys, that is me integrating my fasting. So obviously now that I have my financial goals, it is what I've been praying about all day today. I pray over the plan. I invite God to say, God, this is my plan. And then I pray that I don't have any unforeseen emergencies in this year. And I affirm over my financial goals as well. You know, let me quickly share something. I don't want this video to be long. We're already on 21 minutes. Earlier this year, so I took my car for service last year. And when the year just began, my clutch needed to be replaced. So when I took my car for service, they told me that the clutch plate will need to be replaced as soon as possible. They gave me the code, and the code was about 12,000 rand. And I was like, I don't have the 12,000 rand right now, and I don't even know when am I gonna have it, right? So then the clutch died, right? One evening, I had to come back to work from work. I have to come back home from work. I think the gears, they didn't work. So the clutch plate was down and out. I had to get the tow bar to come and tow the car back home. And at that period, all I told myself, I kept affirming that, you know what, the car will get fixed, but I'm not going to take any debt to get it fixed. And I tell you, affirmations, they work. My partner made a plan and we got the car fixed, and the car is fixed without me asking anyone for money, borrowing money from anyone. So I affirmed, and I told myself the whole week I've been affirming, I am not going to get into debt to fix this car. I'm not going to borrow money from anyone, because I kept affirming that I am not the head, I am not the tail, I am the head. I am not the borrower, I am the lender. So there was no way that I was going to go around looking for money, because it did not match with the vision that we have for ourselves. So I'm happy to say that my car was fixed without me even spending anything. You know, so affirmations, prayer, it works. Over your finances, make sure that you pray, you affirm that you are rich, you are wealthy, you are debt-free. That will help you live a financial free life that you aim for. Until the next one, I love you so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Mwah.